you're going to see with Darvish, when he really starts to separate the hands, we like to use the word hinge. We're really going to load the back hip, load into the ground. And you're going to see with Darvish, he's one of those guys that really starts to sit deep into the back leg. Very hard to do, very hard to get out of and hold that position. You're going to see on the right, DeGrom, who had the hardest fastball in Major League Baseball last year. He's not going to sit as deep. But one thing I want you guys to keep in mind here when you're watching this is I want you to pay attention to how long DeGrom stays in the ground back here with the back foot. And not necessarily heel connection, but if you'll watch, his ankle and his foot are actually going to rotate downward into the ground, which is extremely good ankle mobility. But if you watch all the way up into foot strike, his back spikes are really working hard to stay in the ground. But one thing about DeGrom and all high-level throwers, they stay extremely vertical in the delivery, and you're going to see a really good shoulder rotation. But if you watch here, DeGrom's ankle turns down and in to the ground. The back knee turns in, allows the pelvis and hips to rotate. There's your separation right there. So these guys are going to get to very similar positions. Darvish on the left, again, very deep, really gets into that hinge, really sits. You're going to see the front leg lock out as you do with a lot of high-level throwers. But again, not as deep, or DeGrom is not as deep as Darvish, but these are both guys that produce a ton of energy. Both very vertical, both get a really good rotation at foot strike, both really create a lot of separation at foot strike. But two completely different guys. We'll scroll back. If you watch Darvish, the back knee turns down and in. And if you'll watch him, his back heel goes more up in the air. If you watch DeGrom, you're going to see more early on the back foot more lays flat back here. So two different ways the body moves, two different lower halves, some similarities, but they both produce a high level delivery, a lot of velocity, a lot of separation, and a really good rotation at foot strike. You know, one of the more popular things taught, and I'll talk about this later on, is bend the back, reach out, stuff like that. But you can both see on this video, these guys both rotate really well at foot strike. But the more focus here was the bottom half. So again, both guys create energy a lot different in the sense of how they sit in the back leg, how they create that hinge. But both produce a very good result. Thanks, guys.